everyone, and welcome to Gamers Breakfast. My name is SkojSkull, and I got my co-host with me, Jalbagel, and we also have our special guest today, HandiTipsGaming. How are y'all doing? HandiTips is also a Monster Hunter fanatic. He plays a lot of Monster as well, with GU being his current, I believe is your current game that you're playing?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was like the last thing I remember. Creates a lot of YouTube content as well. Welcome your face.
Hello.
Welcome, dude.
Happy to be here.
Welcome. Well, for those that don't know who you are, if you'd like to kind of explain yourself better than my introduction, go for it.
I mean, honestly, you did a pretty good job. I mean, as far as content creation goes, pretty much strictly Monster Hunter, do mostly that. Streaming, same thing. Every now and then we'll play some different games and whatnot, but mainly focused on Monster Hunter. Gen U is definitely the one I play the most. Usually just open lobby stuff, and then same thing with Iceborne, just chill hunts, open lobbies, and fun times.
Nice. Was GU your first game, or was Iceborne?
Iceborne actually was.
Really?
I am a certified fiver. I am a certified fiver.
Babies, let's go.
Yeah, it's just I don't even know. It's probably more so because I was always like, even when it came to like the original consoles and stuff like that, I was always on Xbox, stuff like that. So even like the portable consoles, I didn't have like a PSP or stuff like that. So it wasn't so much I was avoiding Monster Hunter or the series or anything like that. I just didn't really know about it. But then, once we got World and it came to the other consoles and whatnot, I was all in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the case for a lot of people, and it just goes to show, and I always say this, right? Like, Capcom just didn't
promote in the West.
Yeah, they just didn't advertise the game like in the West at all. So, it's good to see people like that actually worked, right? Like they actually advertised a video game and people enjoyed it and people started watching it. It's like, oh, weird. What happens when you actually advertise the video game that you want people to play?
It's like, wait, people want to play? Everyone wants to play this? Like, yeah.
Yeah, every human being wants to play this game. And if you don't, you're wrong. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, that's the thing, is that I didn't. Like, it wasn't like I saw it or heard of it and I was like, nah, that's not for me. I literally heard nothing about it until, like, World came out and I was hooked.
Yeah.
World made me realize that I really enjoyed PVE games more than I enjoyed PvP games. I was just like, I actually really love this genre way more, because I don't have
cooperative gameplay. The
only enemy is myself. My skill is my only enemy.
No, so I mean, like, do you guys, because like that's a kind of a good point that you were making, because that's kind of like a self-realization that I've had as far as like my gaming and stuff, is that I'm very, like, it's very much skewed how much I enjoy PVE rather than like PvP. Do you guys have the same kind of thing, or?
Yeah, I mean, I like grew up playing PvP type games. Like I started with like Battlefront 2 on the PlayStation 2, and then got into like Call of Duty and then Overwatch, and that was all I was playing. And like over time, whenever I'm in those sessions or with my friends and playing it, I started like I didn't feel good after that session. Like for me, I was awful. I'm not the best when it comes to hand-eye coordination, when it comes to especially like PvP type games. And for me, it takes a lot longer for me to get used to a game than it does, I guess, more or less the average person that gets super into those genre of games. So World was probably the one that introduced me to the fact, like, hey, you can be mediocre and still get through the entire game. And I'm just like, fuck yeah. And that's what made me fall in love with the PvE style of the games. And I started playing Skyrim and Zelda and stuff like that, and then I started falling in love with those games.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say mostly with my only experience, I can't even say that actually, because I have a long history of experience with competitive games and not necessarily just video games, right? Because I've played competitive trading card games since like 2010, and I've played Smite since 2000 and I want to say like 17.
Okay.
I haven't played recently though. I actually kind of stopped playing it when I started streaming because I realized that community is toxic as fuck. And I think that's like mostly the reason why I stay away from like PvP games, is because I just don't like the communities that are built around it, right? PvP, you know, inherently generally creates this air of competition and this stigma that you have to be like the best and the greatest. And when you play a PvP game, like that is the intent, right? The natural progression is to become better than the people that you're playing against. And for the game's design, like that's how it's, you know, that's how it's supposed to be approached, but not everyone wants to get that out of the game, right? I love Overwatch, actually. Funny enough,
really,
when Overwatch came out, I loved it. I had so much fun with Overwatch. I fucking hated playing PvP all the time though. But like the mechanics of the game, the system of the game, character design, stuff like that, like great. I was like, Overwatch is a lot of fun.
Zenyatta?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Weeb. Wait, hold on. No, which one's the Weeb? Is that Zenyatta the one that which balls. One's the one with the sword and the dragons?
Genji.
Genji, yeah.
There you go.
I thought that would be the one that you like because he says Weeb words before every attack.
I'm just terrible with aiming his kun. That's one of the things. Well, I mean, I use Zenyatta.
The shuriken.
Yeah, the shuriken. I say that, but I use Zenyatta. Why did I use Zenyatta?
I don't know.
And then I played Reinhardt, and I was just like, "Oh, this is fun! You just smack,
just smack everything." Yeah, like the last time that I played was when Brigitte came out, and I was like, "I love Brigitte. Like, I like Brigitte. This stuff, but I do not like PvP."
She's Swedish.
She is Swedish. She's great.
Yeah.
And then like Smite. The only reason I play Smite is because I still have like a bunch of friends that play Smite. But like I always found like the cooperative like PvE style of games a lot more enjoyable, because it's more like you have, especially when you can't like carry a game on your own, right? Like Final Fantasy 14 is my obsession right now, and I will talk about it for now the rest of the podcast.
Go with that.
But Final Fantasy, like you're doing 6.1 just came out, so like we're doing like new content, and I was getting frustrated with Extreme Endsinger. Like I was kind of like getting upset at myself because I was like making stupid mistakes and not keeping up. And like I'm in VC with my friend, and we're playing with a bunch of like other randoms, and he goes like, dude, it's okay. Like this is why we're doing this. You don't know it.
Right.
We went into it blind. This is why we're doing it. Like it's okay to make mistakes. I was like, shit. Yeah, was that support?
Right.
Not someone going, your shit, like get better.
From a random?
My god. Well, no, it's from my friend.
Oh, okay.
But
I was gonna be like, that's...
it was just like this like kind of like eye-opening experience. Like, oh, like this is PvE, and we want each other to be as good as ourselves because it's not a competition.
No, yeah.
You know, it's like the goal is to finish it, right?
Right.
So I think, and like even with Monster Hunter, like that's the goal. The goal is to finish the hunt. You know, the natural progression is you do get better, and you do get better like armor and equipment and stuff like that. But the end result is still the same, whether it takes you 55 minutes or 5 minutes, 55 or 49 minutes or 5 minutes, right? Like as long as you finish the hunt, you've did the goal of the game.
Oh
like,
yeah,
good job.
That's what I say to like my community whenever they join in, and they just say, "Is it okay if I hunt with you?" It's like, yeah, we're gonna get like I can promise you we'll get the hunt done, just not how long. That's all I can promise you.
Yeah, because I mean I say that all the time too, is just like I don't want anybody to ever not join in on hunts because they're like, oh, I'm on stream, what if I cart or something like that. Like, dude, I just carted 3 times to what was it?
Like a great
we were doing like
baggage.
Fatalis. We were doing Fatalis in the chill hunts the other day, and I legit, like, we had the safeguard, and I carded 3 out of those 4 times, and I was like, dude, it's chill as hell. Like, literally, you see me dying all the time. Just come have some fun. That's all we're shooting for.
Yeah. No, and I
Absolutely.
think like a lot of people are like getting used to like this PVE kind of like concept and how these games are fun, because like it's a different experience than like single player, right? Because like in single player games it's just you, so only you have yourself to blame, and so in multiplayer games it's still really easy to get that toxic mentality, like, well, you didn't pull your weight, and like, well, it could have been a minute faster if you were better, or like, you know, like that kind of mentality still happens. But I think people are coming to the realization, especially within this community, because we have some awesome people in the front of this community that are, you know, pushing this idea of just pick up a weapon and go beat the shit out of the monster, man. Like, it's fun.
Right.
It doesn't need to be fast.
No.
Yeah. Yes, it's something that you were talking about. It kind of like ventures off into a different topic, but I am very much curious as far as like, okay, so I know Skoy, you are, and I'm just curious if it's like throughout the series. So I know you like Insect Glaive, correct?
Absolutely not. Hate it. Never want to use.
Yeah, it's his favorite weapon.
4,000 uses in World of Iceport combined with PlayStation, and yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah, holy crap. So
I didn't play any other weapon.
when did you start the series? Like, what game did you start with?
World.
World?
I
Okay.
never heard of the game before.
Okay, so we're a lot alike in that sense.
Yeah.
And then what about
Skoy's-
you, Jal?
Skoy was over there playing like Call of Duty, and then someone goes, "Have you ever heard of Monster Hunter?" And he goes, "No, no, I haven't. What's that about?"
Yeah.
The fuck do you mean? What's that about? Monster hunting.
Monster Hunter. No, you know what? You're on your.
No, I started with the game in 3 Ultimate.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
On the 3DS.
Then you hated it.
And I hated it. No, because like, it's not that I hated it, it's that
No.
I didn't enjoy it as much as I possibly could have, because I was playing with 2 other friends that had already beaten the game.
Oh, okay.
Right, so like they were like, it was years after the game came out, and like they were already finished, and For You was coming out like a year or something like that. So I was like, you know what, like, I'll try this out, I'll see if I like it. And then For You came out, and I absolutely fell in love with For You.
Nice.
And then the rest is history.
So I mean, 3U, it had Switch X as well, correct?
Yep. Yeah. Switch X was introduced in, oh god, I'm gonna get this wrong. I'm pretty sure it was either 3U or Try.
Regardless if it was 3U or Try, everybody feel free to roast Jal
Yeah.
if you got it wrong, because that is natural, right?
Even if I got it right, just, you know, roast me anyways. I can't believe you had to think about it. I actually started with Hunting Horn though in 3U.
Oh, my heart.
Because my friends were like, well, like, you know, there's all these like really cool weapons, and you know, when we play together, like, you know, we don't have someone that uses Hunting Horn, and Hunting Horn can like give buffs and stuff like that. And I was like, I'll learn Hunting Horn.
They tried to force you into Hunting Horn?
They didn't force me to. I even picked it to play through Village with. So I started playing through the Moga Village with Hunting Horn, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this. Like, it's a big weighty weapon. I get to heal myself. And the Giganox Hunting Horn is a big black coffin, and it's cool as shit, and it makes the best noises.
Right.
And so yeah, I remember farming Giganox and then like using that Hunting Horn in multiplayer. In like low rank hub, but they're all still using like G rank gear. And they would just go up, and I'd be like, okay, let me give you guys a health bonus, and then they smack the monster 3 times and it dies. I was like,
well,
all right, there's your health bonus.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Giganox is one of the most disturbing monsters.
Oh
yeah,
God,
but I did play Switch Axe shortly after that.
That was fun.
I didn't even play Switch. Oh my gosh, when did I start playing Switch Axe? 4U came out, and I tried Charge Blade and Insect Glaive. I soloed the entire village with Charge Blade, and then all of Hub with Insect Glaive.
Got you.
I don't even think I used Switch Axe in 4U either.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, no, I don't think I did. I don't think it was until Generations that I like really started using it, because like I knew it existed. The Grimcat in, I don't know if you know the weapon design, but it's called the Grimcat or the Grimkatsu. It's in Rise too.
Is that the Para one?
Yeah, it's the paralysis switch axe. It's got the face of a
Yeah.
cat on it.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite weapon
Oh.
design.
Oh, it
My
looks sick
absolute
as
favorite
hell.
weapon design. It was the only switch axe that I built in 3U just because. So I guess I did use it a little bit in 3U. But I built it in 3U and I fell in love with it. And it's like my absolute favorite design. If I ever did a cosplay for like a switch axe, like if I ever built one, it would be the Grim Cat.
That would
I
probably
wanna
be the
build that
easiest
thing.
switch axe to do for
Right.
cosplay.
Have you ever watched what some of these? Okay, so
No, I've
the
seen.
enigma
Oh yeah,
of cosplaying, of Monster Hunter cosplaying right now is figuring out how to make a functional switch
Weapon?
axe.
Right.
And
No, you have fun
right
with
now,
that.
right now, all it is, yeah, thanks. Right now, all it is like, people have this very simple design where they have to go through and like manually, like, move it to change it between like axe mode and sword mode, which I think is still very, very cool.
Right.
But my brain wants me to click a button and it does it on its own. And I don't think I'll ever get there, but that'd be so cool if I could just like
Dude.
make the skeleton and then click a button. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be so cool.
You could do it as like a starting point, just make the skeleton, and then just like
Well, yeah, but like
go to
Skoj.
cosplays from there.
Yeah. No,
And then-
that would be the intent too, right? Is like either it's so easy that it can be reproduced and so cheap that it can be reproduced for multiple like weapons, or it's too expensive, therefore I like swap out like its skin, right? I layer it each time.
Layer. That's
There
funny.
you go.
I always think that'd be really cool, but like I don't have the time, the brain, the experience to do that stuff. I tried to math it out once, like on paper, using like physics and nerd shit. And I sat there and like kind of like drew out like a schematic for it, and then I handed it to my friend who was an engineering major in college, and he looks at it and goes, "You're a fucking idiot. This is not how torque works." I was like, okay. No, but it was actually really funny because I thought like a circular spring would like do something. He's like, "Oh, how do you get it back to that point?" I was like, "I don't know, dude. You're the engineer. If you figure it out."
I give you this, you do it.
Make this, please. No, but there's someone in Japan, I think like a year or two ago, that posted a video of well, it was still a switch axe. It was a partially functional switch axe, partially. And so, yeah, I might look into that again. It was also on a smaller scale.
Yeah, so as far as like a partial, what do you mean as far as like a partial working?
One click would change it to sword mode, but then you would have to like manually reload it back into axe mode, which honestly,
Still impressive.
Cool with that. Yeah, it's still really impressive.
Yeah, because I mean, you think about it, even like me just thinking about it in my head and seeing it kind of like play out in a cosplay sounds dope. So I mean, like if you even got it like somewhat functional,
yeah,
I mean that would be insane.
That'd be great. I'm just imagining Jel just like with the switch axe, just swinging it around, just like with that one move, like I'm dangerous. I'm a danger to society. Just
then I'll make my clutch claw, and then anything that I see, I'm gonna clutch claw into it and ZSD it, and I'm gonna speed run in real
Skoj's
life.
face just get over here,
Spider-Man right to you.
Oh my gosh! See, then that would be the next step, is to make it functionally ZSD and explode.
Yeah,
Don't
absolutely.
ZSD in my face, please.
Why not?
Get over here, Skoj. Just like jab the switch axe into my face. Oh my god.
So, Skoj, do you have any plans on like playing back through the series at all?
Oh, I have been. I played through 3U, 4U, GU.
Okay.
I do plan on playing through the first game.
Just don't do it. I looked up a speedrun of that after I made that joke. I was like, should I speedrun Monster Hunter 1? And everyone was like, no. Okay, well, that's only encouraging me. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, this looks awful.
Actually bad.
This looks terrible.
Friends don't let friends speedrun Monster Hunter 1.
I mean,
friends don't let friends play it.
On the bright side, it's not that long.
Is it true?
Yeah, there's not many monsters in it.
Well, see, that's the thing is I saw, forgive me because I can't remember who it was that I saw on Twitter. They were tweeting about the HR grind. I think that's the biggest problem.
Oh yeah,
is that it literally takes forever to grind your HR out, and that's one of the biggest problems. Yeah.
Yep.
Just like going to stream, just like, we're HR2, let's go, 20 hours.
Yeah, seriously though, that's what they were kind of making it seem like, is that it was like ridiculous amount of time just to improve, like from, I think it was like 7 to 8 or something. But oof.
I won't get that far anyways.
Just at that point, just like if you're on the PC version, just like to hold the speed button and just whack them up.
Yeah. PC version, Skoy, what are you talking about? That game only released on the PS2.
Right. There's no way we could play it on PC. Right.
Absolutely not. Because we're Christian gamers.
Christian
and would
gamers?
never steal video games and put them on emulator. Skoy
would never do that.
Would never do that.
Speaking of emulation, I'm playing back through For You again, and I have to say I completely and totally understand why people think that For You is
the best game.
Yeah,
because it is.
Hands down.
It is.
not just because of Jalbagel.
It is.
Yeah.
Boy.
It's centered around the story of Jalbagel.
Yeah, no, it's just hands down like the best Monster Hunter
really
experience. You got like a lot of quality of life from 3U to 4U that made playing the game more enjoyable. And then you still get this like classic, old world, old school style Monster Hunter where it's minimal resources and you really got to focus on because that was like really the game that taught me like, oh, hitting a monster specific part is better than just whacking at the monster anywhere on it. Because they even in the game's mechanic taught you, hey, you need to hit these purpley glowy parts on the frenzied monsters so they fall over and die.
Yeah.
The only problem, which you'll get there eventually, but the only problem about For You is towards the end when you have to start using Y stones. That is the only mechanic that fucking sucks in the entire game. Outside of that, fantastic game. 10 out of 10, play it.
Handy, if you need, are you? Hello? Are you able to play online?
Good luck.
Yeah, I was going to say, the funny thing about it is that I actually played, I originally played through For You, and I think I got to G3 and had some problems with my hard drive on my computer. So then I lost all of it.
Yeah, I don't have that. I swapped it over to my new PC.
I mean, oops. No,
I'm playing. Yeah, I'm just dicking around.
No, absolutely.
We play an emulator, by the way, so we can capture it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
To capture
Spend $1,600 on a capture carded 3DS
from
that they do not manufacture anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
A third-party company.
It works great.
Hey, I'm glad you got one that works well.
Yeah, I bought it 2 years ago when they were still cheap.
I was gonna say, if are you able to go online with it? Because I have the access to be able to go online, but if you need it
with Citra.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know that I actually played with some of my community members before, and I saw your server. I was like, okay, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, that would be fantastic once I actually get back to where I was, because I mean, you guys know the Kinsect progression.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, I had my Shrouded Nucilla Insect Glaive. I had it ready to go. It was all jacked up, and now I got to go through and do that stuff again.
If you're doing it, well, let me know when you're doing it, because since I swapped over to the next PC, I lost all my save files.
No, I know that feeling, literally.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh,
yeah.
So actually let me know, because I'm actually interested in trying it out again.
I have no idea what made me think about this, but there is something that I want to clear up. So, Jal, I remember on one of your streams, you were talking about somebody's favorite monster. You were talking about Skoy's favorite monster. Is it legit Cephadrome, or are you just fucking with him?
Absolutely 100%. Skoy's favorite monster is Cephadrome.
Damn it.
It is his favorite monster. He loves it. It is his most prized possession. You know what? Hold on, I gotta find something really quick.
Oh, this is gonna be golden.
Cephadrome.
It is
Blush.
not. There is a Cephadrome plush.
There is?
Where?
Why?
Exactly. Why?
Why?
I just can't imagine that it
I wanna send
sells
it to you.
well.
Just don't share this podcast to Faye. Because it started like a whole. Oh my god, it was so funny.
Yeah, she
Like,
started that, didn't she?
Yeah, because I said that like I was encountering the monster and I forgot entirely whose favorite monster is. And while I was fighting it, I'm just like, I absolutely hate this thing. The hip checking and everything is just absolutely god awful. It's just the worst monster. And then someone went over to her community and said that to her. And then she made like a whole video video on her stream being like, I can't believe you. I can't believe you did this. And
No way.
It created this back and forth, like, you know how like you hop into each other's streams, like you're watching her stream or you're through your stream, and it's just like that funny fiasco. Like that was what basically happened. It was great.
Oh, okay. So
I don't have that experience.
Her favorite legit
Cephadrome.
is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest.
Skoy's
I
a
was not expecting
normie
it.
and likes Gormagala for some reason.
I was gonna say that I did know. I knew you were a fan of him. I actually just saw it, which this is another thing. That footage that you retweeted the other day with the Gormagala and Rathalos fight.
Yeah.
That was sick as hell.
Right?
Yeah,
It was,
I never saw that before.
That was that teaser reel for the Monster Hunter movie that they entirely scrapped.
No, it wasn't scrapped. It was test footage that they used to promote the idea of a Monster Hunter movie. So that was what that was, but they never used it, like that idea, into the movie.
What?
Which makes me really sad, because like at the end they only had Gormagala for like 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds, and that was it. And I was like, hey, Gormagala, and he's gone. All right.
And it's gone. No,
Why?
but I mean, like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Because I mean, that footage was literally fantastic. Like, why would you not incorporate that in any way? I mean, I guess it would have been hard with the whole premise of the movie, but like, I don't know, man. That was fantastic.
I think it would have been better the other way around for like a live action movie sense, if the monsters, if they wanted to introduce the whole idea of people going into another world. I think it would have been a greater idea for the monsters to come into the human world and just create havoc and destroy everything. That'd be crazy.
But then it's just a Godzilla movie. It's just like Godzilla or King Kong at that point, or Jurassic Park.
You're gonna complain? I would love that.
This is the thing about Monster Hunter. This is where I haven't watched the movie still, because I refuse to spend money on it. But this is the thing about a Monster Hunter movie. If we're gonna have a Monster Hunter movie, I want it to be like
Hunter goes into
like Avatar, right? Like not the Last Airbender, the other one, right? The was that James Cameron? Blue Peoples. I want it to be like that, where we go to that world and learn about it and experience it and explore it, because Monster Hunter, like lore and setting, has so much whimsy and has so much character and has so much life about it. Fuck our world. This place is boring, right?
Yeah.
And sure, like a monster coming over, like that's a very overplayed,
of course,
movie cinema
that's what I'm saying,
cliche.
From, like, the movie cinema cliche portion that makes it doable.
Yeah, like sure. Yeah, because then you can add the U.S. military to it, and then you kind of get that write off when you make your movie, and like you get that free support, like whatever, and like that. Yeah, sure, like that's cool. I would love to see a Monster Hunter movie that's more focused on Monster Hunter and not just like on the monsters.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I would prefer that as well, though. Absolutely.
But like, there is a right way to do it. Like you can do it in two movies. Like one movie where like, they come over they invade our world, and then one movie like where we go there. Like that's fine too. That's just Jurassic Park, right? That's just the Jurassic Park. That's just King Kong. And that those are successful. But we won't get that ever, because his fuck completely destroyed that movie. Yeah. And it pisses me off to this day that that's the representation that the Monster Hunter community gets in cinema.
Right.
And the Sonic community gets this masterpiece, not one, but two.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's cheating. That's against the rules.
The second one
that's
did
not
better
allowed.
than the first one.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're getting absolute masterpieces. That means they're going to get a third one. It's going to have Shadow in it.
Oh, it's probably going to have Shadow in it.
It's 130. It's already been teased in the second movie. It's absolutely going to have Shadow in it.
I didn't watch it yet.
I haven't watched it either. I just saw it in a freaking. It's like just you already know that it's gonna happen.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you see it in the movie, and you're like, oh yeah, it's like watching Marvel movies. Like, I bet this is gonna leak Age of Ultron, and then sure enough, at the very end, it's Ultron. It's like, oh shit, all right, cool.
Wait.
I don't know Marvel enough.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, have you guys seen the Netflix Monster Hunter movie?
Mm-hmm.
It was
good.
Yes.
So, I mean, as far as like what you were talking about, Jal, like the actual Monster Hunter aspect of it, like they went over a lot of different things and they did well.
They did a fantastic job. So like, that's the problem about that is that the Netflix production company picked up this project that died like 5 years ago, and they salvaged parts of it to make this marionette monstrosity. Yeah. Like, the premise, really good. It's literally, the premise of it is literally for you. So like, you can't go wrong. Mm-hmm. Like the premise of it is fantastic. But the animation style, woof. The mocap rigging, woof. Like there was a lot of problems in the execution of it, but the actual content was fantastic. It was amazing. Yeah. And I would love to see more stuff like that. Honestly, like I would, but once again, we're just the franchise and the genre is still just too niche for anyone to like want to drop actual real ass money on it. So we can get something that is legitimately cool. And what's really unfortunate is that the Monster Hunter movie was the closest that we ever came to that, and because it flopped, Capcom is going to have such a hard time like convincing anyone that these are good ideas anymore. So now we have to wait for Monster Hunter 6 to come out. We have to wait for Monster Hunter 6 to be as much, if not more, than a success than World. And if Monster Hunter 6 flops, we're fucked. We never get anything ever again.
Right. Yeah.
And then we have to wait for fans, the beautiful fans that make their own fan content to create these really cool and like elaborate scenes, and then we'll just stitch all those together
for like
copium.
Dude, like the fan base probably makes the best live action content that I've ever seen. Because there was like a Naruto live action thing that I've seen forever ago, and they interpreted that the best that I've ever seen in any like live action kind of situation. I'm just like, how? That's crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, like, even that movie had, like you said, it had so many good things. Like there's still like standout moments that I remember, and like nothing stands out in a good way in the like actual Monster Hunter movie. But like a lot of the like how they talked about the balance and like all the stuff that goes behind being a hunter and all that whatnot, and then even the monster interactions, like when that Kongalala came out and the Devil Joe, they were going at it like that. That blew my mind how well they did that.
Yeah. No, and like I said, like there's like diamonds in the rough. There's like these glimmers, even in like the Monster Hunter movie, and then like in Hunters of the Guild, like in these things that we've received so far, there's these like little glimmers of hope that are like, that's it. Like, like take that and like make that better, and like make that the focus, like make that the cool thing. Right. And we just get these little like bits, and then the rest of it is just, like an absolute mess. Like like the beginning of it is like this perfect like turkey club sandwich, but then the rest of it is just a sloppy Joe. We don't want that. We want a turkey club.
The sloppy Joe's good though.
The sloppy Joe's a mess, but and the only reason you enjoy it is because it's just meat and sauce ? On two buns. Simple, easy, but it's an absolute mess. And that's the best analogy that I have for the Monster Hunter movie, because people still watched it because it's Monster Hunter, and sure, it's food, it's content. We're gonna ingest it, but we aren't happy about it afterwards. We just had a sloppy Joe. We're covered in meat and sauce. We're just upset about ourselves. We're messy.
I mean, there were people that like didn't know anything about Monster Hunter that actually genuinely enjoyed the live action movie. I say I'm sorry, but like I mean, they enjoyed it. So I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with enjoying it.
No, not at all.
There's nothing wrong with enjoying it. If you liked the movie, by all means, please like it. My biggest gripe isn't necessarily the content and concept of the movie. It's the people that went about making it and how they chose to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay there, Skoy?
I'm trying to look up.
But like the whole nonsense with Paul W.S. Anderson and his decisions for making the movie and the decisions in making the movie, the Chinese box office release that had, which the entire release that had a problematically racist, joke in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of that stuff is the things that people remember about this movie, not the absolutely amazing, rendering and beautiful animation for these monsters in these worlds. Are you okay, Skoy? You keep making a lot of faces.
I'm just looking at how much money like the Monster movie made, and I was just like, oh, that looks like a lot of money. And then I looked at I compared it to other movies. I'm like, that's not a lot of money. It made 40 million.
What?
It made 40 million worldwide, and when you compare that to things like Marvel movies, which make like 6 billion,
holy crap, that's
it made
awful.
they didn't the movie cost 60 million to make. So
oh my,
and this is the thing that I'm talking about, right? Is like that kind of a loss. Like people go and they look and they go, we didn't even break even. We can't make another one of these. But like the biggest reason why it doesn't break even is not because of the content of the movie. It's everything else associated with it. Mostly Paul W.S. Anderson, the dude's a fucking
everybody was apprehensive from the get-go.
But like it's mostly because of Paul W.S. Anderson and some writing decisions that got into the movie. Like literally being shut out of the Chinese market on release week.
Yeah, that's killer.
That movie huge. They literally banned it in China. And
they made
huge.
a Chinese joke, didn't they?
They made a very problematically racist joke. Yes, a very, very racist Chinese joke in the movie, and that got it pulled. Like nobody was everybody hated that. Nobody liked that. Was that the Fallout 4? Nobody liked that. Like, and it's just one of the. The dude is so tone deaf. Like that's the moment they said, "Hey, Paul W.S. Anderson's gonna direct this," and I said, "Great, another Resident Evil flop."
Yeah,
like, I just knew. And what's really funny is that they just made a new Resident Evil movie that he didn't direct, and it's fucking brilliant. It's like, weird. It's not the Capcom IPs that are the problem.
Right.
It's Paul W.S. Anderson. Who knew? Yeah. We all knew. We knew the entire time. Him and Mila Jovovich are the biggest problems with any movie with every Capcom IP movie that they have worked on. It's just that they are the problems.
Right.
That's so
I guess somewhat on like a brighter note, something that I was wanting to get you guys' reaction on. No, believe me, because it was all justified. But something that I was curious, in the Legends of the Guild movie, were you guys as shocked as I was when Homeboy got charred to shit?
Like when people started dying?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised, I won't lie.
You didn't count the number of people in the hunting party then?
5.
Oh yeah, but that's the whole unlucky. So
it's a superstition. That's literally the origin of the superstition.
Right.
There's only a hunting groups of 4 because some time ago there's a hunting group of 5 and one of them died.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Ooh, yeah, that's a superstition."
Right.
And like then, that's so neat. Like I'm happy that they did something, like they showed that, right? Like hey, that's cool.
Oh,
but I was like sitting there like on the edge of my seat, like, this makes 5.
Right.
Which one of you dies?
Yeah, believe me, because like I mean it's gonna sound like morbid, because like I was happy to see that they were willing to do that and take that, because didn't the
take it that far,
the insect glaive chick, didn't she die too?
Her kinsect died.
Okay, there we go.
Easily the kinsect
saddest...
was the biggest. That was the biggest upset.
Part. Oh god,
he was the sixth one. I'm kidding.
Paisley, her kinsect died, and so she walked around without a kinsect, which a lot of people were like, does that explain the dude in World that meanders around with an insect glaive but no kinsect? Like, is he similar to his, did he just not feed his kinsect or something?
Oh god. Where's the Slayer ammo?
Oh god.
Picks up a rock, eat this, you dumb insect, and the insect goes, please sir, give me food, give me a morsel, not stone.
It's been months. No, but I mean, like I do. I think that anytime that I see them go a little bit more on, I guess you would call it like the darker side, I can appreciate that, because I like when they're able to take those risks and do it well, because I feel like even in like the stories, the story series too, like I feel like they even, because Stories 1, it starts off with a Nargacuga coming in and absolutely macking
and
your
murdering
village.
Chevel's mom. Sasuke complex.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I guess I know what happens at the beginning of the game.
It's the first fucking cutscene.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me play it right
and
now.
It's like, hey, guess what? Slam. Chevel's mom is dead, and that's his entire motivation for being a dick. The entire time. He's literally just Monster Hunter Sasuke.
Yeah.
Also, the game is like 15 years old. Catch up. 15? No, it's like 10 years old. Catch up.
But I mean, like it's great that they are willing to explore things like that. You know what I mean, and take it in that direction, because like obviously it's not like we actually see the Nargacuga like munch on his mom or anything like that, but it's just like
only.
You guys are just some weird shit. I just want to let you guys know.
It's the Game of Thrones idea, right? Like,
I love that.
Or Walking Dead. You get a character, you're introduced to them, you gain attachment to them, but you don't know if they're actually going to make it to the end, and that just makes compelling stories, you know, and it makes them more adult, obviously, and that's what people, you know, they really attach to that. We create, you know, this attachment to it, and then when it's taken away from us, like, it leaves a bigger impact on us, right? And like, I mean, Stories 1 and Stories 2 do that amazingly. Stories 2 not so much, but Stories 1, like,
for sure.
Great story. I want to play it again.
I really love when entertainment does go that as far as to do that, even in like, I mean, they could still do that in younger audience films and stuff. I mean, they did that literally in like Bambi, the mother dies. Lion King, his father dies. Like they long live the king.
No. Oh, you didn't have to
love Lion King, dude. I love Lion King.
I need a gif of that, please.
But yeah, I mean, like that's the thing too. It's like, what Disney movies do people remember the most? You know what I mean? If 99%, well, not 99, but a huge part of our generation, if you ask them like, what's your favorite Disney movie or this or that, a huge portion is going to be like The Lion King. And it's because they did things like that perfectly. Like, you had a vested interest in these people, and like, well, not people, but you know,
people,
right. But you did. You had a vested interest in stuff. It was a great story, and then, you know, getting that ripped away, like, it's memorable.
I feel like Marvel's starting to understand that as well. I mean, they've kind of understood that before, but they're kind of understanding it more or less. I mean, it's always scary when when they're nearing the end of their contract, because you're just like, are they gonna die?
Right.
Pretty much. So, but no, it seems like Marvel's going down that
contracts. Ooh, Jeremy Renner's next.
Oh, no.
you see Moon Knight, and it seems like they're going towards the more like darker side of
fantastic series so far, by the way.
So good.
Loving it.
I didn't know what that was yesterday. I went to lunch with some friends yesterday, and they were talking about Moon Knight, and I jokingly said, is that like Knight, like Kenne IGHT? And both of them just looked at me deadpan and went, yes. It's like I had to Google it to figure out. It's like I was just like making like a dumb joke, like Moon Knight. He's the Knight of the Moon, and he's like, no, it's like literally what it is. It's like
right.
Oh,
but no, it seems like they're going towards like the darker end of it, not as like on par with like Punisher or Daredevil, but like they're leaning towards that, and I'm just like, please do that.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, like even prior to the series, Moon Knight was one of my favorite like Marvel superheroes, just because like
really
the whole like exploration of like the different personalities and stuff like that, the split personalities. Like there's a lot of runs of Moon Knight that are like they're okay, but you know, like there's some when they nail it, they absolutely nail it.
They chose the perfect actors for the series.
Oh,
like they're all good, and I'm just like,
yes. Oscar Isaac's been doing fantastic. Ethan Hawke is Harrow. He's been doing an awesome job. Like, oh god, I just love it. And I know that they're only doing like the Stephen Grant and the Mark Spector personalities right now. I hope they introduce
right now.
Yeah,
we'll
I was gonna say. I
I
hope they do end up introducing a third personality. But I know that Jal, you said you're not so much into like the Marvel stuff. But
I know nothing about these things.
Right,
you fell asleep at Endgame.
I was awake for 26 hours. Okay, it wasn't because the movie was boring. It's because I was actually physically exhausted.
Oh,
I remember the beginning of the movie. I remember the end of the movie. I remember clapping. That's it.
Oh man. Oh man.
Is it over? Can I go to bed now?
No, but I mean, even as like a just as a series, not even so much as like a Marvel series, I'm still very much enjoying Moon Knight. Like even if you didn't know anything about it.
Anything.
Oh yeah.
Well, because like that's and I would say they've been doing that like really well for a long time. Because like I said, like I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I still enjoy Marvel movies. I still enjoy Marvel TV shows. Like because I've watched all of the Hell's Kitchen stuff on Netflix. So like I've watched all of Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Punisher, and then Iron Fist. I've watched all of those and The Guardians.
Hell yeah.
I watched all of that, like literally every bit of it, and I loved all of it. My cat's being a dick. Hold on. Hey, kitty cat. he's seeing ghosts or something. The house is haunted.
I think you would genuinely enjoy Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So I want to watch it. I all that stuff that's on Disney Plus. I keep saying like I want to watch it, and I just never do.
Yeah, because I mean Loki, I thought is another one that like standalone you would enjoy. It was very good. They did great with the casting on that too. But yeah, I think Loki and Moon Knight right now, as far as like all the stuff that's on like Disney Plus and whatnot, those are definitely the two that stand out for me.
They're so fucking good. They're doing a great job, and I'm glad they're testing out different things and see what works. Because I mean, they have the money to do that. Where it's just like, hey, will this work? Oh,
even if it does,
so let's throw a few million at it and find out.
Yeah, right. They could take
it's
a hit.
Disney.
You know what I mean?
Their pockets are literally limitless. Which has Disney made like a Disney movie? Like recently at all? I've seen like nothing that's been like. What was the most recent Disney movie to come out?
Was it the Red Panda?
One of those animated ones.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Because like when I think like
the Red Panda?
I should say recent.
Yes.
No, that's not
Red or
that's not Disney.
Is it not?
That's Pixar, isn't it?
Oh
no, it is Disney.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Is it Disney? It came up when I typed it. Is it Disney? I thought it was
so.
Pixar. Oh,
I have no idea.
There was. I remember there being like
Disney
a really.
And Pixar. Oh, okay, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I remember there being like a huge like Disney were upset because Encanto was able to get out in theaters, and they the what is it called, Red?
Turning Red.
Turning Red.
Wasn't able to get into theaters on release, and they had to make it digital or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, something like that, and they got upset
because it released on Disney Plus.
Okay.
I mean,
did they say
like
why?
Well.
Who knows?
The COVID.
Who knows? Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, but I do get your point as far as like what you were gonna be saying, Jao. Like,
yeah, mostly it's been like Star Wars and Marvel IPs. That's all I've been seeing Disney shit out. Is just Star Wars and Marvel IPs, and like there's literally nothing wrong with that, right?
No,
but it's this incredibly unique shift in like what Disney's like traditionally known for versus what they want to become, which is literally just, you know, a mega conglomerate of the world's most popular IPs.
Yeah.
And then every now and then shit out a cute animated movie about being a child in 2002 or something.
I hope they make a show, like a really solid show. I think that's what they want to do eventually, because they
show for what?
In general.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't have a Disney Plus show, like specifically like a new Disney Plus show,
like an animated show,
yeah, or animated
like,
show, live action, or anything.
Or like another like Marvel or like Star Wars.
No, just a show.
Like
they have
an original like
unique,
Disney show.
The original Disney show, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Because that's the thing too, is like the animated movies that they've been putting out. I mean, they've been crushing it. Like as soon as they put out like another animated movie, like literally that's all people will talk about for a while. Like Encanto was like that, and then even Turning Red has been like that. So, and then what was the? I'm trying to think.
I believe in you. You can do it.
The We Don't Talk About Bruno, was that Encanto?
Yeah, it's Kanto.
Okay, well, yeah, but I mean, like literally, like everywhere I would go, people were like singing that song and whatnot. You know what I mean? Even just like passing by people. So like, they're crushing it on the Marvel front. And even though like there's mixed feelings about like the Star Wars ones, they're still making hella money on them. And then even when they release like the animated movies like that, they're crushing it there. So honestly, I mean, they're in every phase they are doing super well.
Oh yeah, like they're doing great right now. I'm excited.
Yeah, Turning Red, Lightyear, and Kanto. I'm just like naming off the most more recent animated ones. Everyone forgot about Lightyear. Luca.
I mean, they didn't put out any other trailers.
Oh, for Lightyear? No, they only put out one.
Yeah. So like, of course everyone's gonna forget about it. No, they didn't post anything.
It's not even out yet. It says 6/17/22. I don't even know why it's listed on here.
6/17. I hope they start posting stuff.
Because
you don't want to overshadow things like Turning Red, right? If you're gonna push for something for something that's like, you know, coming out now.
That's what like Marvel's doing right now too, though. It's just because it's just like they don't want to promote the Thor movie yet.
Yeah,
and it's really close to the release date.
Right.
But
I mean, I'm gonna be real, I'll still definitely see it, but like I get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, there was a video talking about it, and they were just like, they're probably not releasing any trailers until the Doctor Strange movie comes out, because there's probably some stuff from Doctor Strange movie that's gonna spoil it for the trailer.
Right. Yeah. Right. So we'll but as far as this is again gonna like circle way back, but I don't think that I've ever gotten to talk to you guys about this, but we were talking about, you know, like I guess stories and how, you know, you get investment in a character and you never know if they're going to be safe, and like the Game of Thrones effect. Have you guys watched Attack on Titan before? Oh my god.
I've watched the first season.
Oh,
we're talking about anime.
Skoj.
Oh, he's excited. He's happy. I'll leave.
I've never been so happy and sad at the same time.
Why sad? Because Jal.
Because Jal's watched the first
don't
season.
worry about Jal. It's just you and me now, buddy. Let's talk.
But Jal, like seriously, how we were talking about like
Eagles.
getting like invested in a character. And not knowing
they did that even in season 1.
Right. But I mean, like they, as far as like a master class of doing that and it not feeling forced, or, you know what I mean? Like, okay, the story's kind of like slowing down. We need to just kill somebody off to get people more interested. They don't do things like, it's literally perfect.
That's good.
Throughout. As far as like doing that,
I want to watch it. I want to catch up. I really do. Making time to watch anime is so, you know, difficult. But I would love to do that.
Listen,
you say that.
Yeah, you know, you're right. I say that, and I'm on my 5th watch of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. which is 7 seasons long, and I'm on the end of season 5 right now.
Can you recite every episode yet?
You know, no, because every Star Trek episode is the exact same thing each time. It's either weird space anomaly that doesn't get explained until the very end. One of the token weird species crew members is going under weird medical something, or they go back in time, and it's like it's just it's those 3.
But I mean, obviously they do it well if you're rewatching it for the 9th time.
It's just noise.
Oh, okay.
But it's something that I can put on like when I'm like doing stuff around the house. Yeah, and I can still like ingest some of what's going on. What I need to do is finally shell out the money for Paramount Plus so I can watch the 4 new Star Trek shows that they have on there.
There you go.
What?
Yeah.
They also started Halo.
Yeah, and the Halo series is on there. Yep.
Right.
But yeah, there's like 4 different like Star Trek shows. There's an animated series called Lower Decks. There's the Picard series, which is season 2 just started. Then there's like another like live action like show that's very much akin to the other ones. I don't know what it's called. And there's a 4th one, and I don't know what that 4th one is. I'm gonna look it up.
But there's still plenty. But I mean, like, I understand 100% what you're saying, because like even just like in an anime sense, like I still need to watch the 2nd season of Demon Slayer. I still need to get started on Jujutsu Kaisen, and like there's just so much that I need to do, so I don't even blame you and Skoj. It's adorable. Look how happy.
We don't get to talk about anime often, but what we do is just fantastic.
He loves it.
Are you excited for
his anime boner is raging?
But it's like it's like the final. Are you excited for the final season, final part 3 of Attack on Titan? Season 4.
The final season, final for real. We're serious. It's the final one, part 1. Okay, maybe half of the final actuals. It just keeps going on and on and on.
Did they say the season 3 was the last season? Is that
no? Season 4, part 3 is the final.
No shot. That's called season 6.
They literally advertised it as Attack on Titan, the final season. And then they're like, just kidding, part 1. And then they're like, the final season, part 2.
Just kidding. Part 3.
Just kidding.
That's called season 6, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The thing is, they didn't even need to do that. It's not like people weren't going to be interested if they just would have called it like season 4, 5, and 6. You know what I mean?
Keep curveballing us when it's just like, it's gonna end. We're gonna be satisfied. Everyone's like, it's very like not close to the end of the manga. I hope they don't end on a slideshow like they did with Promised Neverland season 2, and then they didn't. And then they announced that for like 2023, and that makes me excited because it gives them time to like work more on it. And I don't know how much is involved in like the creation of like manga and how long that takes, because it's all hand drawn.
Right.
It's fucking
and shout
wild.
out to Mappa, by the way. They've been doing a fantastic job.
They've been doing a fantastic job. They're not really being treated that well, but they're doing a fantastic job.
They're not being treated well? As far as like what?
Just animators in Japan in general.
Yeah.
Are not treated well, and like a lot of that has been coming to like
underpayment.
More,
oh no!
Like a lot of that's coming to the foreground right now because of like a lot of stuff that's happening in the West, and like people in Japan are like, hey, we can talk about it too.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
People are literally sleeping on their desks to continue working. No. It's bad.
I was gonna say, I hope that that's a sign, you know what I mean, that it's going to get better. If they're waiting until like 2023 and all that, I hope that they are legit gonna how sad is that I'm about to say this, that I hope that they're treating their employees well. It's sad that that's like the bar, is to have a company at least treat them decent, you know what I mean. That's awful, dude.
It is. I mean, Mappa just announced recently that they bought a new building, so we'll see what's gonna happen from here on out. I don't know how. Like, we don't get much news from that part as much,
Yeah.
because I don't think Japan is like I don't think in general it's not really completely open about what's going on and stuff in terms of
it's just a different kind of culture. Work culture in Japan is a lot more personal, and like people aren't as comfortable to talk about it because I mean it's incredibly competitive over there. There's literally millions of people living in an area smaller than like the East Coast of the United States. And like, you know, you complain about it, you just get replaced, right? So you deal.
Yeah,
and that's like the work culture that's been there forever.
It's extremely competitive because it's extremely hard to even get like a weekly like manga out there. Like they look through your work and it's just like, is this good enough to make it into our like Shonen Jump? I know there's like other companies, but like the Shonen Jump is like the big one. Shonen Jump like weekly app kind of thing to showcase them each chapter. It's like, is this good enough? And they have to like compete with that. So
you know what anime I'm excited is getting another season?
Oh gosh.
Devil's a Part-Timer.
Yes.
Oh.
This is a show that's from 2013 and literally a month ago they announced that it's getting a season 2. I was like, fucking finally, Jesus.
What?
The show's 9 years old.
It's really
so
good. The premise is basically a reverse isekai where like the devil lord comes to the human world and he tries to be the head manager of McDonald's basically.
It's McDonald's. It's really funny. Like he loses all of his supernatural powers. And there's like what's even funnier, it's literally 13 episodes and the amount of like lore and backstory that's in this show is fucking insane because there's this whole like epic tale that happened in the past that they keep hinting about, and there's another character in the show. You just gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
It's so funny.
It's so good. And it's a comedy too. So like it doesn't take itself seriously.
The action is insane too.
One of the best lines in anime just ever has come from it, which is about the boneless burger.
The boneless burger?
Would you like to try our new boneless burger?
Oh,
Your burger's not supposed to have bones in them anyways. That's why it's boneless. It's fantastic. Oh
no, I was gonna say, I mean,
the show is great.
Even just on that premise alone, I mean, like, believe me, that definitely sounds like something that I would 100% be into. But
show's fantastic.
Yeah, another one to throw out there. It's definitely a more mature one, so just a PSA. But Devilman Crybaby. Have you guys ever watched that?
I have not.
It's so good. It's
that was
so good. Oh, come on, man. You're not watching Devilman Crybaby and I have?
This is the opposite of how I thought this was going to go, for sure.
Devilman Crybaby is really good. Listen, if it was ever on Netflix, I watched it. And if it was ever on Netflix between 2012 and 2016, I definitely watched it.
Yeah.
Because I was in college then.
Right.
Devilman Crybaby is so good.
Oh,
you should absolutely watch that.
Castlevania
Put that at the top
one
of your list.
Yes, Castlevania. Fantastic.
Castlevania also amazing.
I've been looking for another anime to watch after I've been reading all this manga.
Devilman Crybaby first.
Yes. Okay.
And then watch Castlevania. Castlevania is kind of long though now. It's like 4 seasons, right?
I can finish that in a day.
Well, I finished it in a week. That's how good it was.
Damn.
Like, I was staying up till 2 a.m. to keep watching it. Like, it was that good. And I was like,
still need to watch The Witcher season 2. I haven't even seen that yet. I've been wanting to. Sorry.
Oh my god. He watches everything on Crunchyroll, and I watch everything on Netflix. So between both of us, we're one functional human being that's consumed all media.
Forms of media.
I mean, that's a good thing. It's like a yin and a yang thing. I mean, it's perfect. You guys are going to be knowledgeable on everything.
He's anime.
There you go. There you go.
Devilman Crybaby is so good. I might rewatch that now. Skoj, watch that on Discord. Watch that with your community so I can watch it with you.
I barely have time to even do anything with my community.
Well, make time, forehead.
Yeah, easy. But
it's like Johnny's talking about doing a Avatar: The Last Airbender watch party, and I'm like, every season we'll be here for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about going all the way through it?
Yeah, he wants to go through the entire thing because like there's some people that just like haven't seen it, and we want to like get them to watch it, but it's
You
just
can do it an entire day. It's possible.
the whole series in one day.
Oh.
How long is that? That can't be like longer than 24
5
hours.
seasons.
Yeah. And I was gonna say it's one of those ones that like a season's like
They're 22
30
minutes
episodes
long.
or something.
24, I think.
24, yeah.
I think it's 22 or 24 episodes a season. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's not a short show.
No.
1,464 minutes, which is 24 hours and 14 minutes. It's like a
For the
24-hour
entire
live
show?
stream.
No shot.
I was gonna say because yeah, I mean if you're talking about 24 episodes in a season, like they're like 22 minutes, something like that. I feel like that might not be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Regardless, though, I mean, like if you were gonna do it like in a day or something like that, it would be back to 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 back.
Oh, absolutely. Skip credits and intro.
Yeah, because I was gonna say as soon as you said that,
credits every time.
right? I just got tired as soon as you like said that he was gonna do that. I was like, oh, that's
It's only 3 seasons. I thought it was 5.
No,
It's only 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but then if you include Korra,
Korra's
then
great
it's 5
too.
seasons.
Korra's great.
Okay.
Fantastic.
They did a really good
Yeah.
job with that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that I've kind of like noticed too, as far as like with anime, like one of the ones that I know that people talk about a lot, but I just absolutely refuse to start it because I know I'll never finish it, and there's so much. One Piece, like I can't even start One Piece because I know that I'm gonna have to commit half of the rest of my life just to finish it. So it's
That's
just
why
like
I'm reading it.
overwhelming from the start.
Yeah, there it
Oh,
is.
you're reading
I started reading it. I like in the first like 2 hours I started reading it, I got to volume 3 already. So
Okay.
it's a good read. It's a really, really good read.
And that's the thing, is that I'm not doubting that it's good as people say, and it doesn't deserve the notoriety and the popularity. But yeah, it's just because that one has like 20 seasons or something ridiculous.
It has over it's getting to 1,000 episodes soon. That's why I would absolutely like recommend reading it over anything, because it's just like you can literally just pick it up and just go through, just read it and just keep swiping and reading it, and then just wait, you gotta go do something. It's a manga. You can literally go back to that panel that you left off and just like continue it later.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yes.
Shows that are that long are bad.
No.
Ooh.
Because look at this. We want to get into it. Like, cause I would love to watch One Piece. But because it's so long, it's too daunting. I literally will. I know I could. I don't have the time to commit to that. You know how long it would take me to watch all of One Piece right now? Because I'm not going to read it. I don't know how to read it.
Yeah.
But you know how long it would take me right now to watch it? Probably 2 years to watch all of it. And that's the problem, is that your show is now too long for new people to get interested in it. So personal opinion, bad. Anything over once you get past 5 seasons, I'm starting to question my commitment to that, you know?
I mean, it really depends. It's just like they wanted their with shows like that, they do a lot of world building, and it's working for them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the content of it is bad. I'm saying the design and the execution is what's bad, because it's literally because of how big and how much they put into this, which is probably an amazing thing. I will never experience it because it's too daunting for me to actually go and start it.
I think it's just the matter of starting in general. I think that's...
I don't have time to sit and watch something for more than an hour a day, though.
Yeah,
so I'm going to get 1 to 2 episodes in a day out of 1,000 episodes. So that's 500 days. I'm watching this more than a year now. Yeah. I'm never going to finish it.
So
right? Because that's also assuming I watch it every single day. And that's not going to happen either. I might watch it every 3rd day. And so now it takes 6 years to watch it.
So do you think a solution to that might be they could have made maybe the first 5 season, this is One Piece, and then season 6 to 10 is One Piece, blah blah blah.
One Piece After Dark.
Because then you have then it's the same problem, but now it's Naruto.
Okay.
because like Naruto is also a really long show that I would love to watch and like get into, but it's a really long show. Like even Naruto, Skoy, how many episodes is Naruto?
Almost 1,000.
Come on.
It's over.
Same problem. But they did
there's
that.
a lot of filler though.
Well, exactly. And you know, filler aside, because like that's my other take too. If you're gonna make a watch list for a show and say, but don't watch these episodes because it's filler, your show's not good.
But no, it's not the case of that. The reason, do you want to know the reason why they do filler?
Oh no, it's just to fill release schedules and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
which
Like they
is
have a story
dumb.
and they
They
have so many
shouldn't do
episodes
that.
that they want to put in.
Yeah.
It's fan service. It's there for the people. It's there for the super fans, right? Like even just like filler episodes are just to like show more about the characters, and they're usually never canon. You know.
Yep.
So like I get it. I get why they're there, right? But like look at the absolute masterpiece that is Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is the perfect
Brother.
length
good.
show with literally zero filler.
Mhm.
It is the perfect length. Every
Yeah.
episode matters. Every episode has impact, and it's not too much that you can't get it started, and it's just enough to get like everything that you want out of it.
Episode of that show is heavy. Like every
Every
episode.
You go and you look up Naruto watch list, and they go like skip all of season 4, skip episodes like 4 through 6 of season 5, then
There
go back
are
and watch season 2. And then
literally
go back
seasons
and
of
watch
filler.
season 7.
Yeah.
Then watch the last episode, but then watch all of season 1, and then watch the last episode again. And you've only watched 60% of the show.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do that for Full Metal Alchemist and say, bruh, start with season 1, episode 1, and just go all the way to the end.
This is why I
Every
never.
episode is so good.
Yeah, this is why I never recommend Naruto for like first time watchers at all, or even One Piece at
Yeah.
all, because it's just
Right.
like like you said, there's too much content for people to like really grasp and handle, and like at some point, if they want to watch it, they can go for it and watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can agree with you on that point. Like that's what like didn't get me to get interested in One Piece for the longest time, was because of the amount of content. But then I thought like I'm at the point right now where there's not much anime or manga that really is grasping my interest, so I just started
It's a
reading
good
it.
time for you. And whether or not it is, like that's like, you know, a justification personally, right? I'm just saying that like in the grand scheme of things, because they want people to watch One Piece, but like I feel like the longer that it goes on, the less and like the lower and lower their viewership is going to get, because people are either going to lose interest and new people aren't going to come in to replace the people that are losing interest.
I don't know. It's hard to say, because just like One Piece has been the #1 until Demon Slayer manga came in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like the other thing too is that like we're looking at like a really like, you know, niche category of media here.
Yeah.
Whether or not like I'm saying like, you know, 1 million people are going to watch it, and even if like next week, you know, 990,000 people watch it instead, it's still incredibly successful. But that's still like, you know, a 10,000 or like a 10,000 drop. I'm just throwing out random numbers. Whether that's not the case, it's probably not, and I'm just going to sound like an asshole. But this is just like my outward perspective, right? Because it's just so large, you know. You have something that goes on for that long, you're gonna have the mega fans that stay forever, which they were One Piece was really good about making a lot of mega fans.
Yes.
It's like Dragon Ball Z. It's been going on since 1990, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And it's too much. It's too fucking much.
Every day.
It should have ended with Z.
Oh yeah.
They should have ended with
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean,
I
that's
don't need a blue Super Saiyan, damn it.
Yeah, because that's
Go on.
that's the overall point, and I 100% agree with it. Is because like if you take all the filler out of One Piece, overall it would improve it. You know what I mean? Like it would
Is there
be a
filler in One
full
Piece?
metal.
There's really not that much filler in One Piece, though, is the scary thing. Like, there's a lot of episodes that aren't, like, impactful. But as far as I can tell, there's not a lot of filler to that show.
Oh, okay, well, I mean that's a bad
Yeah.
example then, because like I've never watched One Piece. but,
Naruto
like,
is a great
there you
example.
go.
of
Like,
filler.
if you
Naruto's a
take out the
perfect
filler.
example. Like I
Right,
adore
so,
the
I mean-
show. I literally have it tattooed on my arm, but it's just
Yeah.
like there's a lot of flaws into everything.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know
like
what's
if you took that
actually-
filler out, it would be improved upon, because it would be like a Full Metal
Yes.
Alchemist, because the show is still fantastic.
And it's a
but
lot
every
shorter.
episode. Yeah.
You know, it's a great example of a show that's literally just filler. Pokemon show.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Pokemon, all of the Pokemon episodes, it's just another episode of filler. And it's really upsetting to me.
Oh god.
I want to enjoy the Pokemon show so much, but it's like always written for children, which is the intent.
Right.
So like every episode's like its own self-encapsulated thing. There's no overarching story until he gets like, you know, the championship, the Elite Four. Yeah, now, the gyms and stuff like
something that I've heard about with as far as like Pokemon, isn't it the I don't know what it is, like the manga or whatever, isn't it like darker or something? Like it's
different. So there is the Pokemon animated series. Yeah, there's Pokemon the animated series, which follows the story of Ash Ketchum, a young boy from Kanto that's traveling the world to become a Pokemon master.
Right.
Super cute, super fun, lighthearted show because it's what it's meant for. Pokemon Adventures, the manga, follows it like loosely follows the video games. It follows the same concept and the same premise of the video games with like actually giving the characters like the main protagonists you know, like actual like personality and interests and
background and
motivation, right, while also fleshing out like other, you know, main characters in like in the games, like Giovanni or like Blue, the Archie and Maxie from like, you know, Emerald or Gen 3, right? Like it adds more to that story. So if you've really like if you've enjoyed a Pokemon game for its story, which I'd say probably the best story in all of the Pokemon games is X and Y, and someone's going to tell me I'm wrong.
I'm going to tell you you're wrong. It's gonna be
I still okay, yeah, actually no, that's fair. Better. Yeah, Black and White 2 is probably the better story, the hands down. Yeah.
So I mean, like,
I still really like X and Y. But it expands on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they do that for each game that comes out, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They literally have a Furo piercing through a Poliwhirl, like stabbing through his chest.
They don't do that too much nowadays in like the current adventures, but yeah, like red and blue, which I guess were like blue, green and blue, but red and blue adventures, red and blue, and adventures gold and silver were super gritty, because even in the games, like blues Rattata, or excuse me, Raticate, that like actually fucking dies, that's like canon, right? It's like a thing. That's like why he's in like the cemetery. It's like the reason he's like around that area. It's because like his Raticate died.
No shit.
You killed it. Or like Team Rocket killed it or something like that.
Yeah.
So like it's like they hit on more of that, right? Like in the games they mention it. It's like, oh yeah, like, you know, the rivals like Raticate died, so like he's here. And it's like, oh, I didn't know Pokemon could die.
Right.
And
Graveyard.
But like in the event, like in Pokemon Adventures in the manga, they're like, this is how it died, and you get to see the panel.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, the fact that you said Gold and Silver, the Adventures one, were a bit more gritty and stuff like that. I really, really want to check out the Gold and Silver one, because for myself, my favorites as far as Pokemon goes, my favorite games are Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
They're great.
But I mean, yeah.
I would absolutely recommend starting from Red and Blue though, because it follows along that story. You can start Gold and Silver without having to worry about it, but they call back a lot from Red and Blue and Yellow.
You benefit from...
It's because they're still following the Team Rocket arc. Okay. So Gold and Silver pick up in the like Rocket investigation where Red and Blue left off.
Okay.
So like if you start from Red and Blue, it will only help you. If you don't, it's fine either way. But they make callbacks to like Kanto and stuff like that. But
we're talking like, what are those fans that have to like tell you where to start, and like what other show does that?
Fucking all of them, man.
No, Fate, the Fate series. Like,
don't bring it up. Don't talk about it.
It's just like, so where do you start? So you start from Fate 0, then you go for Fate Stay by Night. Then you from Stay by Night, they also have the counter movie, and so it's just like the map. It's all canon.
Oh god.
They also have the spin-off game that's also canon. That is
the number of times that I've had people yell at me, "Unlimited Blade Works!" it's too many. It's too fucking many.
Yeah. I do
really want to watch Apocrypha. That's on my list to watch.
Ooh.
Fate
Yeah,
Apocrypha.
I've seen the Fates on Netflix and
newest
stuff,
one.
and that's the whole reason that I don't watch them is because like I see Fate Zero, Fate blank,
Where do you
Fate blank,
start?
Fate blank, Fate blank,
Where
and
do
I'm
you
just
start?
like,
Just start with Phase
help.
Zero. Just
Well,
start with Phase
actually,
Zero.
what's great about them if you don't care about the chronological release, all of them have very little to do with each other other than the overarching premise, right?
Oh,
And
Which
they bring back
is
characters
like,
from other stories, but you could literally start with any other season.
you can start with literally any of them, which is really cool. But there's two shows that have continuity, and then that's about it.
Zero and Stay by Night. It's like Phase Zero first, then Stay by Night.
oh, okay.
And then all the
That's
other ones
not
are like
nearly as
more or
bad.
less standalone. They have reoccurring characters, but like very little impact as far, because if you ever watch it, it makes sense. But I don't want to like tell you why it makes sense, because it's like one of the biggest reasons, like one of the biggest just like mechanics of the Fate series, which I think is one of the coolest things about it.
Okay, so definitely recommend it still. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun watch because those are also short. They're like
It's
14 episodes.
Yeah, they're not that short, but they're not bad in terms of length at all. And not only that, but it's just like there's not many seasons to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's 20. Oh shit! Fate Stay Night was 24 episodes.
Yeah.
Holy.
Oh.
And then fuck. There's Stay Night, and then there's Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
You guys ready?
Which is
to-
another 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh god. So what is that? Just like an add-on to the
I
like?
have no
Stay by Night?
idea. I have
okay.
no fucking clue, but I've watched both of them.
All right, you guys ready for the list of Fate titles?
Yes.
No.
Fate Stay Night, Fate Hollow Ataraxia, Fate
Oh,
Stay
God.
Night, Fate Stay Night, Fate School Life, Fate Zero, Fate Calliad in Linear Primsum, Fate
my.
Strange Fake, Fate Unlimited Codes, Fate Trigger Coliseum, Fate it's all canon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fate Grand Order, Divine Realm of the Round Table, Camelot, Wandering Agaturn. That's a title.
That's one title.
Good lord.
And then we have Fate Grand Order, Epic of Remnant, Pseudo Singularity, X Abyssal, Cyber, Paradise, SCRAP.
Holy
They had to have
shit.
abbreviations in their own time.
That's when you know it's too long.
Fate is a really cool like series to watch. Especially when you realize it's a pre-written D&D campaign every single time in the same setting. So like nothing, everything and nothing is canon.
Today's
Right?
menu for Emiya Family.
That's
the title.
a Fate series?
What?
It's a Fate series, apparently.
I
Bullshit.
was gonna
But
say.
the crazy thing about Fate, it's like the dot hack series where there's like manga, there's animated shows, there's movies, there's video games. There's a lot of different. It's a multimedia franchise,
right.
and so there's a lot of different ways to like pull in the story. But they are very, very like dead set on saying all of it's canon, which is asinine. And then there's
just
Disney,
like how School
literally
Life was thrown in there. All these crazy titles, and then they're just like School Life.
Well, because it's I mean, when you watch it, like it makes sense, right? It pulls in like a lot of like
Canon.
Different anime tropes into one show, which is fucking hilarious.
There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense, though.
No, none of it makes sense. It's a pre-written, like I said, it's a pre-written D&D campaign. It's not about making sense. It's about having fun. And the Fate series does that amazing.
It's basically that the horror series. What is it called? They have like every new season or every new episode, they have like the same cast.
Oh, like an anthology kind of deal.
Kind of.
To
They
where
have
it's
same
like-
cast, different story.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo.
No.
I mean,
it was a series. It's on Netflix.
Goosebumps.
No.
Oh wait, the horror series. Oh,
American
are you
Horror
talking
Story?
about? Are you talking about
that's everything.
Mirror?
No, not Mirror. That follows the same
Black
kind
Mirror.
of premise. No, not Black Mirror.
Not Black Mirror?
Horror Story.
American Horror Story.
American Horror Story.
That's
that
what
was
you're
what it
talking
was.
about.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Same cast, but they put them in. Yes. Yeah. American Horror Story is great, by the way. If you've never
great.
watched it, 100%. recommend.
The
I've watched
actors
this.
are all
Solely-
extremely talented because they play
Hotel
like
is amazing.
Yeah.
because they
I
play
still-
different
I
roles.
still think that like the first season is still my favorite, honestly.
Yeah. Oh,
I
absolutely.
loved it.
Mhm.
Loved it.
Freak Show. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect television show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Jessica Lange, she is
So good.
just
So talented.
unbelievable.
The actor
Unbelievable.
that plays as Quicksilver in the Marvel series, I forgot his name.
Oh yeah.
Quicksilver.
Oh, he was dating
Actor.
Emma Roberts or something.
Pietrov Maximoff.
No,
That's the
No,
first
no.
thing that came up.
not that.
It's,
That's
Is that the
that's
name of Quicksilver?
Yeah. it is.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Peters, something.
thinking of?
Isn't it something Peters?
Peter,
Evan Peters?
Evan Peters. There we go.
X-Men Days.
X-Men. Yeah, the X-Men series. Sorry, because
Yeah,
that's a different from the Marvel.
Right. Right.
We're talking about Marvel
Evan
Ring of
Peters.
Fame.
Yeah, he's the young kid that ends up playing. Yeah. I know this guy.
Marvel's
he's
becoming
amazing.
the
He's
new
so
Fate.
Marvel has always
Uh-oh.
Comic books are just Western anime and manga, okay? It's just as convoluted. There's
Yep. Go on.
Spider-Man,
Go
the
on.
comic series.
Go on.
That's all I have to say. Spider-Man, the whole comic series of Spider-Man. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
There is a literal canon like issue of Spider-Man where his radioactive semen ends up killing Mary Jane.
Yep.
And then there's another arc where his radioactive semen ends up turning Mary Jane into like another Spider-Man.
Fact.
I
We're not kidding.
hate it.
Not
I
kidding. in the
absolutely
least.
hate it.
This is not a joke.
I don't.
I don't
Like that.
watch comics. I don't read comics at all. But my friends do. My friends are like really big like DC and Marvel like comic fans, and they explain this shit to me, and I'm just like, this is wild. This is great. This is a trip.
And the leaps and bounds that they take to make things try and make sense and stuff like that. Like they go way out of their way to try and make something make sense. And I mean, I feel like that was the whole reason for the creation of like the multiverse and that aspect of it.
Yeah, they
was
had
just
to.
so that they had to, because things were going so off the fucking rails that they had to try and do something to bring it back in.
Just 8 white men sitting in a room in 1984 and said, "What if Spider-Man's radioactive cum kills her?" Write that down.
Brilliant. Write that down.
Because
They all did. They all had to be like, yeah, sounds
what
good.
if Doc Ock was a woman? Write that down. That's great. That's a multiverse. That's universe 69 or whatever. The fact that they named all the universes too pisses me off. Every universe has a name.
Yeah.
So you can be like, oh yeah, universe 11, like Spider-Man versus universe 24 Spider-Man. Yeah,
Right.
That's great. If you like comics, more power to you. This is what I'm talking about, though.
That's why I can't
when
read the Marvel comics.
Oh my god, when your media franchise is just too big to get into, this is what I'm talking about. It's so far past, but to be fair, a lot of it is extraneous. Like a lot of it can just be ignored. Like if you just want to focus on like a Peter Parker arc, that's
you
a lot
can
easier.
start anywhere and just start reading. If you find out that it follows along some kind of storyline, then you can just go backwards a little bit.
New 52 has been the best way to get back into comic reading. Right? I started New 52 when it came out, which was New 52 is DC, right? I'm pretty sure it's DC. It's a revitalization of the IPs. So they're starting like new stories and revisiting old stories and stuff like that. But New 52 was like a really good way to get like into comic book reading in the modern day without reading like a lot of the problematic stuff from the 80s and 90s.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
New 52 though has been right, like that's DC, right? New 52.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure.
It's DC
Because they both had somewhat of a like revitalization for a lot of the series, and they kind of like, because I know that Marvel did something similar, didn't they? As far as like the New 52, they kind of like did a rehash or not like a rebrand, but like a refresher of a lot of their IPs and everything too.
Yeah, I mean, it was I kind of like the way they're introducing the multiverse stuff in terms of like media, because it's like the main stuff, because like the Spider-Verse I feel like did fantastic with the multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah,
they did a really great job with that. Yeah, because everyone knows Spider-Man.
As like animation is concerned.
Yeah, they don't need to introduce like every other Spider-Man as like their own separate storyline. They're literally just like, you know who Spider-Man is. We're just gonna fucking just combine everything. It's like, I'm Spider-Man for this universe. And it's like, oh, okay, we understand that now. Move on.
Move on.
Enter the Spider-Verse was fantastic, dude.
It was great. The second
oh my
one,
god,
right?
just
so good.
Yes, just everything about it. The story itself, the animation, everything. Like, it's just so good.
That is an example that I use for stylized animation, that like, because people like look at animation and they look at like cartoons and they look at like super clean like Disney and Pixar animations, and they see the realism in that and they go like, yes, like this is good animation.
No.
But the Spider-Verse
animation
stuff,
choice.
yeah, exactly. The Spider-Man stuff is a perfect example of taking a unique stylized approach, because that runs at like, just by the way, 25 frames. It's not a fluid thing, because they wanted it to look like a comic book page, like turning. Like they wanted this like staggered feel to some of the scenes, and so it's not something that's like running at like this perfect, like brilliant, you know, amazing. It works flawlessly because of how they designed the scenes and like put comic book elements into it and built the animations around everything. Oh,
I'm about to have my Game of Thrones kicking helmet moment here. Did you know
that's Lord of the Rings kicking helmet. I wanted to correct you on it.
Did I say Game of Thrones?
You did say Game of Thrones. It's Lord of the Rings. Viggo Mortensen kicking the helmet. Did you know that when he kicked that helmet, he broke his toe?
I know. Shut up.
That he uttered afterwards is what they used in the final cut.
No, I know that.
All right. Well, you did say Game of Thrones, so I'm just making sure
I didn't mean to say that. I get the two confused.
This needs to be internalized now.
No, I know.
This mistake needs to be internalized, and so you never forget this moment right now.
Did you know that for Miles Morales in the series, like at the beginning of the series, the beginning of the movie, like they have him run in less frames than he does at the end of the movie when he fully harnesses and understands his power.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So if you look at
faster.
Yeah. So if you look at his movement and how he goes in the end of the movie and you compare it to the beginning, it's less choppy and more fluid than how it was in the beginning of the movie. Yeah. They do it on purpose,
things, man.
Yeah.
They do it on purpose?
Yes.
Like that was like an actual like design intent?
Yes, because they do like less frames to kind of show like how like not confident he is in his abilities.
Right.
And then once he's confident, like he has like 60 frames or whatever the fuck, and then he just like
swings
around.
smoother.
Yeah.
He bought his gaming PC. He got his RTX 3080 Ti.
Which, by the way, how is your new card treating you, Skoy?
Great. I just wish my camera works on Discord.
Wait, what?
He has a problem. Something in his GPU processor. There's a problem. Oh, actually, I might have figured it out just now in my brain. We'll talk about it afterwards. But if he shares like a Discord screen, like if he shares his screen right now, his camera will crash.
What?
And so yeah, exactly. Like why is the biggest question here.
That
but I think
the absolute last thing that happens.
I think I know why, because I just had to do it with my streaming PC yesterday for when I was playing Rise on it, because Rise wouldn't launch. It wasn't using my GPU. So yeah.
So you're thinking there's something like similar as far as like what's going on with the.
I can look into it.
Yeah, you have to set like it's like your advanced graphics. This is now troubleshooting and tech talk. I'm sorry, but if you set your advanced graphics properties in Windows,
we'll talk about very little bit.
Fix it.
But I think that kind of covers up what we wanted to talk about.
Computer issues, yeah.
We
can keep talking about computer issues.
No, I'm good. But
yeah, that was a good talk.
I mean, it was a great talk. Handy, I just want to say again, thank you for coming on and congrats.
Yeah.
On hitting 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, big.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, I'm bad about it. I need to be posting a lot more and making content for it a lot more. But yeah, I mean, as far as it's just like between streaming and content creation, like with streaming, you know, you can just kind of like, you can jump on and just, you know, hang out and chill out.
I feel that.
Yeah, like I've never really noticed the difference, but I mean, and that's not to say that, because streaming, God, like I don't know, because you guys stream for pretty long sessions. Yeah, but I was gonna say,
yes, I do.
Jal, yeah, because like I get, it's tiring, man. It is. It's super tiring. Like after I get off stream, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta eat and I just need to chill, man, because I am exhausted.
It's a commitment with content creation, because it's just like you can do both at the same time if you have the energy for it. I didn't. So that's why, like, especially now with work and everything, working full time, I'm not able to really stream because I don't have energy after work. So how I kind of counteract that is that, all right, well, I have enough energy to kind of write, and I have enough energy to create commentary for a video. I can do that. I can edit. That doesn't involve me just like letting out energy like that.
Personality.
Yeah. Yeah. So
how are you guys liking the editing process and stuff like that, as far as like the YouTube and like the content creation side of things on that part?
I've been doing this since 2013. I hate it. But I mean, like, I hate it in the sense of like, because I know what I want, but it's just a lot of work to get to that, and it takes a lot of time to produce that kind of content. It's fun when it's finished, but the process of it for me is kind of a little bit, it's a lot.
It's daunting, dude. It is. Because you want it to be to the quality, you know what I mean, that you want it to be. And I'm definitely the type of person that I analyze every step and reanalyze. So it's like, yeah, I get what you mean, man. It's a lot.
Yeah, I definitely think if it's something, because this is something I really want to do. YouTube content creation is I've always really wanted to do. Right. I just need to get over that this big hurdle that is at video editing, because it's just like, well, myself, I feel like I'm a pretty good video editor. I just need to get to that point where I can manage my time better with it, get faster with it and stuff, and just keep improving. So
yeah,
I'll get there.
I think the biggest thing that helped out as far as like me is keyboard shortcuts. It sounds crazy, but good. Like
it's nice.
Yeah.
C and B are your best friends.
Control Alt Delete. I know that one.
Alt F4.
Control Alt Delete. Get out quick.
No, I get that, man.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, like, do you have any future plans for your content? Like, where do you kind of plan to shoot off yourself? Like,
well, see,
I don't know. That was very poor wording. Where do you,
Skoy, would you like to try again? This is your one redo of the podcast.
What are your goals? And where you plan
That's
on
a better way
going towards
to ask that question.
I can't word
Much
right
better.
now.
You're doing so good.
Well, see, as far as streaming goes, I mean, I pretty much just have, there's not so much of a plan, but basically the archetype that I've been following has been Monster Hunter's always going to be a thing as far as streaming. And then spliced in are just going to be games that I'm interested in. You know what I mean? There's still going to be ones that I like playing or enjoy playing, but I'm not really going to stream it because it just doesn't lend well to the platform. Like, there's this indie game called Tunic. Unbelievably fantastic.
So good. It's such a good game. Everybody play Tunic. Everybody play Tunic. Play Tunic game. It's so fucking good. You like Zelda? You like Zelda? You like isometric top-down games? You like little adventure games that have pseudo Souls-like mechanics in it?
Yep.
You like foxes?
Yep.
Play
and
Tunic.
Just a gorgeous
beautiful game.
Dude, the
and like not even like beautiful and like Elden Ring is beautiful and like this like, you know, graphic marvel. It's just a simple, well-designed, clean-looking video game.
Yep. I was gonna say the spectacle of like when I first took on the Siege engine, I was like, I was blown away.
It's so good. A beautiful particle effects, amazing color, like vibrant and pure. Such a fun story. How they do tutorials in that game, awesome. Yeah, I love it. Yep. I absolutely love it. You have every tool. Like you have the ability to use every tool at the very beginning of the game as long as you find it. But you don't always know. Like my first playthrough, I was like, I didn't know this was here. I didn't know I could do this. Like, this is a thing that you could do, and you can always do it from the very start. So I'm doing New Game Plus now, and with all this knowledge, just like, oh wow, this game is so much more accessible at the very beginning when you know all the little, you know, tips and tricks and tools and directions and secret hidden ways. And
it is. It's absolutely fantastic.
So good. It is such a well-designed game.
And like the manuals that you pick up throughout,
they're so good. I just want one of those in person. I want that manual. I want to print it out and just have it, because all of the artwork and the design of it, their tutorial for the game is pages that you pick up in the overworld. It's a front and a back of a page that goes into a little game manual that's in the game, and it's designed like the PS1 era like game manuals N64 that are inside the case and like the N64 ones. I had a PlayStation one, so you know that's the one I know.
I get it.
Like I'm thinking like Tony Hawk, you know, like opening that up, like you got a little page like, oh, this is how you do a kickflip in the game. It's like, whoa, it's like, now you try. You're like, whoa,
I miss that. That's what I really miss with a lot of games like that. Like when I played Harvest Moon True Quality of as well, it's just like they have the manual and everything. They have other stuff in there too. It's just like, you can do this. There's other people you can do stuff with, and I'm just like,
all
right, Handy, what was your point about Tunic? You're not gonna play it on stream?
Right. So sorry to get off on that, but I mean, like, so I mean, games like that obviously don't lend as well, you know what I mean, as far as like streaming. It's harder to like interact but you know what I mean. But like, you know, there's other things that I'll play, like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. But mainly it's going to be
14.
Monster Hunter. Yes. But mainly, you know, on the streaming, it's going to be Monster Hunter, things like Final Fantasy 14 and whatnot. And then as far as like the YouTube side of things, it's probably still going to be like, I've never really had like a structured plan as far as like YouTube content creation. The most structure that I've had was probably in the beginning. Like in the beginning, when I first started making content for like Iceborne and whatnot, I would do hunting horn reviews. Like I would literally build the hunting horn, do a review of it, what I thought, should you make it, should you bother with it? Like that's probably the most structure that I've had. And then the other bit of structure that I'd probably say that was actually like fluid would be my Why I Love series. And so like I would make videos on why I loved each of the weapons in Iceborne. It wasn't like this is a guide on how to use this weapon.
This
is
your
more so
personal opinion why you love it. You're like, like it. Let me tell you
right. If you like
fun.
doing this, if you enjoy this, you'll like this weapon. This is why I love it. It was my goal to get people to try as many weapons as possible.
Yeah.
So as far as that, and that's by far has been like my most successful series, and like still get comments on those videos today. And I think the peak, believe it or not, do you guys have a guess as to which weapon has been the most popular video?
Hunting horn?
No.
Sword and shield.
No.
Long
but that was
sword.
close. No.
Insect Lance.
Lance.
Yeah, I shit you not.
No one plays that weapon. I'm kidding.
I was cheating. I was looking at your channel, and then you asked that, and I saw the views of the sword and shield one, and I was like, ooh, I know this.
But no,
That's
it's the Lance one. But yeah,
Hell
I think because Sword and Shield is high up there. I think Sword and Shield's at like 112,000, and I think Lance is at like I shit you not, like 142. And
Jesus,
Sword and Shield's at 140,000, my boy.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gaining traction.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but like I noticed that like those are some of the videos that I loved making the most. So I'm thinking, as far as the future, especially like the near future, I think I'm gonna do things like you know, something for like Rise, as far as like when Sunbreak comes out. Do a refresh of that, and then even in other games like Final Fantasy 14, like why I love Red
Summoner,
Mage,
or
why I love Summoner.
Red Mage, yo. Okay,
Dude,
I've been leveling Red Mage.
Oh my gosh,
It's so much fun. Oh my gosh. Why? Friendship has ended with Skoy. HandiTipsGaming is now my new best friend.
Because I love Summoner.
I haven't played Summoner yet, though, but I do want. Summoner is going to be my next.
Especially
caster,
Summoner now.
though.
Summoner now is fun.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that actually. As soon as you said that, are you loving Summoner now? Like Endwalker Summoner?
Oh. It's great.
Because you played it before Endwalker patch.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Like what they do, it was
awful.
Like,
It was rough.
I enjoyed it, but it was rough. But Endwalker made it more accessible, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the gist. You know, as far as
my
like
boy
where
Astro.
I'm thinking. Oh,
my boy Astro has been dead since fucking Shadowbringers, man.
Oh,
it sucks because Astrologian is definitely my favorite of the healing classes.
So much fun.
I need to get through
It is.
Shadowbringers. Am I at the Shadowbringers? Is the one I'm at right now, right?
What level are you? If you're in the 70s,
I'm in
then
the 60s.
yes.
Right.
No, if you're in 70s, then no. You're in fuck, what's that expansion called?
Shadowbringers.
Heaven's Word. You got
Wait.
Heaven's Word. You've got the next one, Stormblood.
Stormblood. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in Stormblood.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, you're in. So that's Stormblood is 70 content. Then Shadowbringers is 80, and then Endwalker is 90.
Okay, yeah, I need a lot to catch up on.
yeah, but I mean, like, it's definitely worth it. But yeah, because like I can't imagine how much fun I would have just going through each of the classes and making videos on them, and as to why I love them and why people should try them. Because I feel like Final Fantasy and Monster Hunter have like a bit of a parallel or like similarity in the fact that like. Yeah, just as far as like if you don't try out every weapon or you don't try out every job, I feel like you're missing out on a huge portion of the game because they all play so differently, you know? So it feels like a different...
It's the level of effort that is like really different. It's taken me 2 weeks to get Red Mage, which is a class that starts at 50 to 90.
Right.
I'm at 80. I'm at 87 right now. So like,
but isn't it so good?
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I would absolutely recommend.
That's like the only problem, like, because at least in Monster Hunter, it's just like you can grab the weapon and have all the tools that you need outside of like armor skills, you know. Or and at least like in GU, like Hunter Arts, and in Rise some silk binds, but you have all of the tools to use the weapon. You know, so it's a lot more accessible. But like, absolutely, reviews like that, like I'm gonna say it, like that's such I've literally never seen. I'm scrolling through your YouTube right now because I'm a creep. I've never seen like opinion pieces like this before, like reasons why you enjoy this thing. And honestly, because like people always put this into like terms of like, you know, mathematics and like what's the best and all of that. And you never really see like, I just enjoy it because of these reasons, not like, oh, top 5, you know, lances to use, like top 5 switch axes to use. Like, I just like this hunting horn design, so I'm going to use it.
Right. And that was literally the entire point of making that series, is just like, you know, if you're looking to find out all the best moves to use, or like, you know what I mean? Like the really in-depth, if you're looking to optimize, maximize, this video isn't so much for you. You know what I mean? This is more so like if you just want a general overview of the weapon and why I love it and why you might like it yourself, boom, you've come to the right spot.
It's
that's good content.
That's really that is good content.
It's obviously successful. Like, I mean, you know, some of these have like big viewership, so that's awesome.
I'm trying to find that niche.
But I mean,
and we've talked about that so many times. It's finding the balance between like what you enjoy making and what is you know, popular content, you know. And
it's
sometimes
so
you
make
yourself can
content.
make it.
I find myself, I'm a really good reaction person because
you got good noises. You make so many good noises. But holy,
I started a new channel just to have like the reaction stuff and other content on that channel, because it's just I don't want that on the main channel, like for myself, because like I love the structure. I love scripted
almost
stuff,
like a passion project kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like that's where I wanted to keep that stuff, but that's where my channel's grown upon is reaction stuff. I realized, because when I posted a new reaction video on the other channel, it got like almost 10,000 views already on like a brand new channel. I'm like, what the fuck? Stop.
But I mean, that's the truth, is that it's like, you know, if it was all rainbows and sunshine, that'd be great. You know, do what you want to make and just do that and it'll come with time. And it's like, no, like that's not always true. Like when you do spend all of this time editing, putting all this time into a video, and then it doesn't get that reception, it sucks. You know what I mean? Like that, it's a bummer.
Yeah, this is also like not like an argument to say don't try what you like, because you absolutely should.
Right. Absolutely.
Start with the things that you enjoy, and see if those like gain traction. And if they aren't, and you think they should, see different ways that you can be doing it. Like that's like one of the biggest things, because like I know Monster Hunter speedrunning isn't, because that's what my main content is, right? I know that stuff isn't popular, so I'm trying to find other things that helps build that content, right? Tutorials and discussion videos on that kind of stuff, right? Is what I'm looking at trying to do. I just have no time to do it, so I'm
just doing fun challenges.
Yeah, that's the thing too. And like I'm trying to find things that I can make, that I can do on stream, that takes 30 minutes to edit, cut the beginning, cut the end, add an outro, done. Right. Make a thumbnail. That's 30 minutes tops, right? And then just shove that onto YouTube and pray that it does well.
Yeah, because I mean, like that's a good synergy too. You know, like how you said, the stuff that you can do on stream as well. Yes. So I mean, you're checking off everything on the list as well.
It's literally a dartboard. That's what YouTube is.
Oh. Yeah. Right.
Which is it this week?
10 views.
Yeah, because I mean, like that's the thing, is it can be very apprehensive or like anxious, because like as I'm sitting here talking to you guys about like doing the like why I love Red Mage or this or that, like I've been thinking about doing that for like a year almost, you know what I mean? And it's just that apprehension that I'm just like,
put so many hours into that. If it flops, that sucks. That's a lot of time that you invested in that like just doesn't do well. So this is that mental process that we go through deciding what videos are worth making and what videos aren't, Right.
In the end, I would say go for it, because it's just like, I can I stress this enough? Varietize your content to what you think.
Varietize.
I don't think that makes sense.
It's not a word. It is now.
It is now. It's not a word. I'm making it a word right now. Your content, as much as you can, to what makes sense to you. I feel
diversify.
There you go.
Nailed it.
You're welcome, Sko. I got the words for you today. Varietize your content, everyone. That's the name of this podcast. Varietize your content.
Copyright TM.
We're like, what? But no,
the name of this episode.
Like that's what I'm trying to lead to as well, is trying out other forms of like maybe discussion videos.
Do other stuff.
Yeah, but like to what makes sense, what you feel like makes sense to your channel, I guess. Like
yeah, like none of us are going to making a Fortnite video about building versus not building, because that's like the recent change. Right? None of us are going to do that. But what we might do is like. Oh, were you? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Skoj.
Sorry.
I mean, we aren't gonna do that, but Skoj is.
No.
But yeah, I mean, like you have to, you still have to make content about what interests you. Like one of the most annoying fucking comments that I got from a viewer when I first started streaming, when I was like still at like under a 10 average, was if you just like why are you playing like this dead game Monster Hunter? Like if you just streamed Fortnite, you'd be partnered tomorrow. And I was like, what?
Well, you don't want to do that.
Bye. Like, I don't want to play Fortnite. Fortnite's not a game that I enjoy. It's not a game that I have fun with. It's not a niche that I want to put myself into. It's also not a niche. It's like still one of the most streamed games on the platform.
Yeah, and I mean,
like, I'm not doing that.
That's the thing too, is that you have to fight that. You have to try and find that balance too with like certain, especially when you build up a community base, because like I feel like it would be very. I mean, it's true. Most of my base are Monster Hunter. They are there for the Monster Hunter content and stuff like that. So it's like you have to find the balance, and it's so hard because it gets to a point where I'm like, if I'm thinking about the analytics too much or I'm focusing on it too much, like it starts to become a job playing Monster Hunter, and I don't want to fall into that because like I still want to enjoy my time streaming Monster Hunter, and I still want to enjoy my time creating content for it. So if I pigeonhole myself into that and only do that, that's when it becomes at work. That's when it becomes a legit like job, and you don't get that enjoyment out of it as much.
I mean, that's where I like fell in that hole with World and Iceborne when I was double dipping in that, and it was I was double dipping hard. Like I was grinding both fatalities on both accounts to like that point kind of thing, and I got burnt out crazy quickly because I did that. I'm never double dipping again. I can't. I like from my own mentality, I can't double dip.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that I have Rise on Switch. I have Rise on PC as well, and I don't think that I will be, as far as Sunbreak goes, I don't think that I'll be continuing Sunbreak on Switch at least right away. At least right away.
Yeah.
But because like that's the thing that you fall into when you're doing like streaming and stuff is like, but that's the thing is that like I have a bunch of people in the community that I play with on Switch, and then I have a community that I play with on PC. I enjoy PC much more, but I enjoy playing with the community as well. And I'll be 100% honest, most of my community, they're on the Switch, you know? So if I don't get Sunbreak on the Switch, then I'm in a sense alienating that portion, you know? But the fact of, but thinking about like playing through Sunbreak on Switch and then right away playing it through on PC already in itself sounds
awful.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough, but I mean,
it really is, and I think it just had to get to the point where it's just like I'm only gonna be playing on PC, and if there's a lot of people that would still come by.
Wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. There's still gonna be a lot of people that would come by just to see you, which is super nice.
I had to like say this because I had that portion of my viewership too that was like, "Are you ever gonna play on Switch again?" And I just flat out said like, "No." Like it's not the platform I enjoy playing on. Like especially when it came to Rise.
Right.
I do not enjoy playing Rise on Switch at all.
Right.
It is not the thing that I like. It is not built well for the Switch. I find actual problems with it being on the Switch hardware.
Yeah.
Playing it on PC, absolute dream. Love the game. It's so much fun. I actually love the Magnum Alice speedrun right now. It is a lot of fun to keep doing. Don't like the end game of Rise, but I do really like the Magnum Alice speedrun. A lot of fun.
Right.
You should try that.
Yeah, and
all of
see,
you,
like
both of you,
for sure. Yeah, I mean,
did it already.
You did 2P Arzuros, which is technically longer, but 2P. You should do single player Magnum Mallow. I understand.
No, but that is the case. You know what I mean? As far as like, it's nothing against the community that plays on the Switch, or if they decide specifically to play. Right, and that's the thing is, it's nothing to do with them, but it feels like it's hard for some people to kind of like separate that and not take it personally. It's like, oh, okay, so you just don't want to play with us or anything. Like it's not that. It's just that like Rise plays like a dream on PC. It really does. It's so smooth and like and for some people, I have plenty of people that say like, you know, I don't really mind as far as like frame goes and stuff like that. I do. I absolutely do. So I mean, it's an easy decision. It's an easy decision as far as like the two, but yeah, I mean, it's a rough thing to balance, but at the end of the day, I know that I've been talking about the things that are hard about it, but I mean, I still fucking love it, man. As far as streaming, content creation, all that stuff, it's awesome. Love doing it, but I'm glad that you guys do stuff like this so that people can get like an insight as to you know what goes behind it.
It's hard to sit in front of your community like on stream or on YouTube or in Discord or something like that and like stress these things, you know, like talk about these anxieties or these apprehensions, because you know you want to create like an air that's, you know, fun and inviting, and you don't want to create this like negative attitude, but sometimes it's appropriate to like talk about this stuff and like have people to talk about this stuff. So no, it's one of the really like, this is one of the biggest reasons why we do this podcast, is to highlight the mental health surrounding streaming for both Skoy and I. It's been, you know, a really big motivating factor for this podcast.
This is episode 30.
What's that?
Did you just get there?
Yeah.
Did you just click with you?
Yeah.
Episode 30. Hype.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, but I think that's actually like just a really good note to end on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Unless Handy, did you want to start another hour-long conversation?
But no.
So
Because we
about
could talk
fate.
all day.
Let's
About
go through
fate.
Oh my God.
Let's
each
go.
one.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah,
Since he started
Handy.
us.
Is there anything
fantastic.
you'd like to plug or anything? You just go for it. The floor
Right
is
now?
yours.
I mean, as far as Twitch, HandiTipsGaming, YouTube, HandiTipsGaming. That's about it.
Twitter,
Bingo,
all of his
bango.
links will
All the
be
stuff.
down below as well, so you guys can click on them for easy access
Hell yeah.
right into Handy Tips living room.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. What?
If you want.
Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you guys very much for listening. If you guys are listening to us on Spotify, Handy, thank you again so much for coming onto this podcast. What we usually do is we introduce guests and then eventually just like kind of just grab them back for like either just in general or to have with another guest that we would like to do in the future for more podcasts.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime you guys, you got my Discord, you got my everything, get a hold of me and I am here. Thank you
Hell
guys
yeah.
for having me. I
Hell yeah.
appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you, Handy, for joining us.
And we will see you all in the next video. Put it in your mouth.
See
I'm
you
bringing
next
it
time.
back. I'm bringing it back.
No, you're
Yes,
not.
I'm
Oh,
bringing
God.
it back. We're
It's
doing
here.
it.
It's
We're
not
doing
a
it.
slogan. Do
It's-
not encourage this.
I don't want to come back anymore. No, no.
Bye.